Hey everyone! So today I'm here to review the NARS Klein One Shocking Moment Cheek palette. It retails for $69 US, $92 in Canada, and contains 1.01 ounces of product in total. It is said to be a limited edition cheek palette featuring 4 blushes, a contouring duo, and a glowing bronzer to bring color in full force. Breaking down the cost of the items, this palette is $166 US or $205 Canadian value. That's a pretty darn good deal. The packaging is a sleek, durable palette that opens to reveal a generously sized mirror. 2 of the blush shades included are new limited edition, while the rest are part of the permanent line, so you may already have them in your collection, especially the Laguna bronzer, since NARS likes to release it in nearly every single palette that they release. But at least we were fortunate enough not to see Orgasm Blush. Am I right? Paloma 1 is a pale off-white beige with warm undertones and a matte finish. The texture was incredibly silky, soft, and blended across the skin smoothly. It had good color payoff, although being so fair, it was basically the color of my skin tone, and it did tend to appear ever so slightly powdery on the tops of my cheeks on a closer inspection. Paloma 1 lasted 8 hours before fading. Paloma 2 is a medium muted brown with hints of rose, warm undertones, and a matte finish. The texture was again soft, silky, and blended out evenly. It seemed drier both in the pan and once applied to the skin when compared to the highlight, but it still had buildable pigmentation. Paloma 2 lasted 8 hours before fading. Laguna is a medium to dark brown with warm undertones, gold shimmer, and a satin sheen. The texture was soft, smooth, but a tad powdery in the pan. It had really good pigmentation that was buildable, and it blended out very easily across the skin. You really didn't need to work it in that much to diffuse the product outwards to look natural. Laguna wore well for 8 hours before fading. Blasphemy is a medium muted pink rose with warm undertones and a satin finish. The texture was smooth and rather dry, which caused a lot of kicked up extra product sitting in the pan, but it never looked powdery once applied to the skin. It had good pigmentation that was buildable, but only to a mostly opaque color. Blasphemy wore well for 8 hours before fading. Dolce Vita is a medium to dark muted rose plum with cool undertones, gold shimmer, and a satin finish. The texture was soft, smooth, and finely milled, and it had great buildable pigmentation that was easy to blend out on the skin. Overall, it was a good performing blush. Dolce Vita wore well for 8.5 hours before fading, and I'm not sure if you'll be able to tell, but it's actually the color I have on my cheeks today. Luster is a medium to dark muted orange brown with warm undertones, gold shimmer, and a satin finish. The texture was soft, finely milled, but a tad powdery in the pan. While it had nice pigmentation, it did come off more sheer, but that made it very easy to blend out on the skin. Luster wore well for 8 hours before fading. Robotic is a light to medium pink with cool undertones, very fine silver shimmer, and a satin matte finish. The texture was soft, smooth, but once again lightly powdery in the pan. It had great pigmentation, applied evenly, and blended out easily on the skin. Robotic lasted 8 hours before fading. So overall, this palette is a great value, and it contains a nice variety of pink to peach blushes. It was really nice to see the brand include other face products into a palette. Although while they may not suit every single skin tone for their intended purpose, keep in mind that they can be used as blushes or even eyeshadows. I've really been loving using the Paloma contour blush on my eyes. So whether you're planning on gifting this palette, indulging in the brand for the first time for yourself, or you're just a longtime fan wanting to get your hands on the limited edition shades, then I do highly recommend checking this palette out. Especially for the value, it's a good palette. So be sure to let me know in the comments below if you've already checked this palette out, if you're planning to, or just in general what your thoughts are on NARS blushes. Personally, I'm a huge fan of them. I think that they're pigmented, they're really nice on the skin, they're just all around great blushes. As always, don't forget to check out my blog for more details, photos, and swatches, as well as like, comment, and subscribe to show your support. If you'd like to give me a follow, I will have all of my social media listed here, as well as down in the description. As I always say, I hope you found this review helpful, and I hope that you're having a fantastic day, and thank you so much for watching.